Ever wondered, what if every person took full responsibility for their actions? Imagine a world where everyone, regardless of status or circumstance, held themselves accountable for their choices. This, my friends, is the concept of accountability. A simple yet profound idea that underpins our society and shapes our interactions. Accountability isn't a lofty ideal reserved for the halls of justice or the corridors of power. It's a daily practice, a personal commitment to take ownership of our actions. It's about acknowledging our missteps, learning from them, and making amends where necessary. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to point fingers, to shift the blame. But the true measure of character lies in how we respond when we're in the wrong. It's about standing tall, looking adversity in the eye, and saying, "Yes, I am responsible." In a world full of blame games, the real champions are those who step up and own their actions. Imagine two friends, John and Richard, who embarked on a journey together. This journey was not just a physical one, but a journey through life, filled with its ups and downs, its trials and triumphs. John was a man who stood tall in his belief of taking responsibility for his actions. When faced with challenges, he would look inward, scrutinizing his choices and the consequences they brought about. For instance, when a project at work failed, he would delve into what went wrong, examining his role in the failure. He didn't shy away from admitting his mistakes, and more importantly, he learned from them. This accountability didn't just lead to personal growth for John, it also strengthened his relationships. His friends and colleagues respected him for his honesty and integrity. His willingness to admit his mistakes and work on them led to an authentic connection with those around him. It was clear that John was a man who was growing, evolving, and becoming better with each passing day. On the other hand, Richard had a different approach. When faced with the same challenges, he would often point fingers, blaming others for the outcomes. When the same project failed, Richard would quickly shift the blame to his colleagues or circumstances. He was unaccustomed to looking inward, to examining his role in the events of his life. This lack of accountability led to stagnation. Richard found himself stuck, unable to move forward or grow. His relationships were strained as his friends and colleagues felt the burden of his blame. Unlike John, Richard was not learning from his experiences. He was not evolving. John and Richard's journey clearly illustrates that taking accountability isn't just about admitting mistakes. It's about personal growth and forging stronger relationships. As we continue to navigate through our journey, let's strive to be more like John, embracing accountability, growing from our experiences, and strengthening our relationships. Because at the end of the day, accountability is not just about taking responsibility, it's about becoming the best version of ourselves. Now think about the power that comes from taking accountability. It's like stepping into a well-lit room from a dark corridor. Suddenly you see things more clearly. You recognize your own role in the grand scheme of things. And that recognition, my friends, is empowering. It's a force that propels you forward, instilling a sense of self-confidence that you may not have felt before. Taking accountability doesn't just boost your self-esteem, it also strengthens your relationships. It shows others that you are someone who can be trusted, who is not afraid to own up to their actions and learn from them. But most importantly, it opens doors to countless growth opportunities. When you hold yourself accountable, you're more likely to learn from your mistakes and improve, instead of repeating the same patterns. It's a stepping stone towards becoming a better version of yourself. When you take accountability, you take control of your life. So, what does our journey with John and Richard teach us about accountability? It's quite simple, really. Our tale of two friends underscores the critical importance of taking responsibility for our own actions. Just as John discovered, accountability is not a burden to be shirked, but a tool to be harnessed. When we confront our mistakes rather than avoiding them, we unlock the potential for growth and self-improvement. In contrast, Richard's story serves as a cautionary tale. His refusal to own up to his actions led him down a path of stagnation and regret. This is the consequence of avoiding accountability. It's a trap that many of us fall into, but it's one that we can avoid. So, let's learn from their stories. Let's embrace accountability, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Remember, accountability isn't about blame, it's about growth, improvement, and taking control of your own life. So step up, own your actions, and see the difference it makes.